What's up? So, today is Sunday, right? I'm having a bad hair day. I haven't shaved, but that's nothing new. I'm wearing my hat like a white boy. But just got done watching the Green Bay Packers beat Dallas, and that pretty much made my day. See, not only is Green Bay my second favorite team, soon to become my favorite team, I've tried to remain loyal to the Eagles for my whole life. Green Bay is just impressing the hell out of me lately. They have been the past couple of years. And Philadelphia, the Eagles, they just seem to frustrate the hell out of me. They do well about halfway into the season, and then they start bumbling it, and they've done it every year as long as I can remember. Some years they do okay, other years they do worse. I mean, this year they were doing so well, I was like, well, how can they fuck this up? They were like, what, 9-4 at one point or something like that? I mean, just like, how do you screw that up? Well, they found a fucking way, didn't they? But Aaron Rodgers, man, and the whole team of the Green Bay Packers, I have never witnessed a team that is that die hard. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers being out there with a injured calf, and he just won't quit. He just won't give up. And I mean, like, put yourself in his place. That's got to be frustrating. I mean, they're like that far from the Super Bowl. They've got like one more playoff game to win, and they'll be in the Super Bowl. And he's got that leg, that bad leg, so he doesn't have full mobility. He's not 100%. He's still doing what he's got to do. But, man. So I quit my job Friday. Technically I'm self-employed, but didn't want to do it. I mean, it's okay. I have another job. When I say job, I kind of mean what most people consider a job. It's work. I don't technically have bosses, but I have clients, and I have people that I've got to do business with. And if that all doesn't balance out, then I don't know, the clients don't get what they're paying for, what they want to pay for. We don't get customers. None of us make revenue. It's just it's business, So when you're working with a team of people that doesn't want to do their job, it makes it real hard for you to do your job. Like, if I didn't do my job, I'd be out of business, right? So yeah, I had to make some changes, and I don't really feel good about it because I was really comfortable where I was at. And I'm not saying that I'm uncomfortable now, but I've taken on some new stuff, and like I said, I was just comfortable where I was. But then I had people who just weren't doing their job, and at least where I'm at now, people do their jobs. And I'm not like talking about somebody dropped the ball here and there. I'm talking about consistently over the course of 2+ years. And especially over the course of the past couple of months, things weren't getting done. And those things not getting done made it hard for me to get done what I have to get done. I can't have that. So I don't feel good about it, but business is business, And I like everybody. I like the people I was with. I like the people I'm with now. But like I said, I'm having to take on some new stuff here. And, I'm a creature of habit. I like to get things regulated and just let the rhythm flow. But I've learned a long time ago in the business I'm in, things don't always work like that. So the what's the word for it? For things to be different all the time is the norm. So you just got to kind of like roll with the punches, adapt to the changes, accommodate, step up, overcome, that sort of thing. It's same no matter what you do, I think. But I would say we're going to see how this goes, but we have no choice but to make it work. We're gonna succeed. We're gonna do well, and we're gonna get bigger. We're gonna grow. But there again, like I said, I was very comfortable where I was before, but now I guess I gotta take on some new challenges and stuff like that, which I'm actually looking forward to. But it just feels different. I feel like I don't know. I feel like a fish swimming in a different pond right now. But it's only been a couple of days, so you know how that goes. But been learning Dutch. Been learning to speak Dutch, and doing pretty well at that. It's Rosetta Stone that I guess a lot of people don't take it seriously because they see the commercials on TV and stuff like that, and they figure anybody can do it. And yeah, anybody can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. But I don't think I know anybody personally who's actually ever tried it before. Rosetta Stone, I mean. And it's not a joke. it's actually a real curriculum. Speaking Dutch, it doesn't feel like natural to me because, well, I'm an American and I speak English, and most Americans don't speak proper English. We speak a real lax version of the English language. We speak whatever dialect pretty much where we were from and come from. So like I come from outside of Philadelphia, so I pretty much have what we call a northern accent. And then when I was 10 years old in 4th grade, we moved down to Virginia, and then I picked up a little bit of this southern accent. And like up in Pennsylvania, we had some expressions up there that I had to change when we moved down here because like a lot of people took them wrong. For instance, if you were in Philadelphia and you said, hey, where are you people going to eat lunch? People will say, we're going to Mario's to have a hoagie. Well, you come down to Virginia and say, hey, where are you people going for lunch? And people look at you like, what do you mean, you people? Well, like I said, I was in about 4th grade, and I was informed that you don't say you people down here, you say y'all. So I started, to adapt. I started to correct myself, and instead of saying you people, I started to say y'all. But I said it with a northern accent, so it was like, hey, where are you all going for lunch? And then I got made fun of for that. So now I can say y'all pretty much like y'all. But with Dutch, for one thing, it's a whole nother vocabulary, about 90%. There are some words that are similar or the same, maybe 95% different. But the grammar's different. You have a bunch of uhs in there. You got to roll your R's, which I cannot do, by the way. Like the color green in English, in Dutch it's groen, and I can kind of like roll my R there a little bit, but I just can't go. I just can't do it. Like when I was in 7th grade, I took Spanish for an elective, and I mean, like day 1 of Spanish class, the teacher was like, everybody, roll your tongues, roll your R's, this, and I couldn't do it. And she was like, anybody who can't do that, you may as well just quit this class right now because you're not going to be able to speak Spanish. So I dropped Spanish and I signed up for shop. So now to this day, I can build a birdhouse, but I don't have a second language, any type of foreign language, So I decided to pick one up, and why I decided on Dutch, that's a frequently asked question. I don't really have a good reason. I just think it's a pretty cool language. As far as practicality, Spanish would be practical for me because I like meet Mexican people and Spanish-speaking Americans and Spanish-speaking people. I would say, yeah, on a daily basis. Maybe not every single day, but often enough where it would be practical for me to learn Spanish. I was raised Italian. We didn't speak Italian in the house, but that would make sense for me to learn Italian. I don't know anybody who speaks Italian personally. The pizza guy, he speaks English though, also. And Dutch people speak English also. So, I don't know. I'll tell you where I got it from. It was like, I'll be on YouTube a lot. And I'll be clicking around different videos. You know how YouTube is, Like the rest of the internet, you click this, and that leads to this, and that leads to the other thing, So I'm clicking on these videos, watching these videos, and I come across these Dutch videos, people from the Netherlands and stuff. And they're the nicest people in the world. I just can't understand what they're saying. So I guess the reason I picked Dutch was just because I want to know what these people are saying on YouTube. Probably not the greatest reason for to go out and learn Dutch, but do you really need a good reason to go out and learn something that's educational and beneficial? And I mean, even if I never use it, which I will. Because it's kind of like having a gun and not shooting it. I'm sure I'll use it. But even if I didn't, what does it hurt to learn something? Even if you never use it. Because, it stimulates your mind, it keeps you active, your brain active and stuff like that. I don't see a problem with it at all. But now that I'm about 3/4 of the way through level 1, exactly 3/4 of the way through level 1 now, I'm doing pretty well. I'm moving through it pretty quick. Each, like level 1 is supposed to be a full year curriculum, like 2 semesters. And I've done a semester and a half, which is 3/4, in 1 month. Today is the 11th. It's exactly 1 month because I started learning Dutch on December 11th and today is January 11th. So I've done a semester and a half in 1 month. It's not bad. What slows me down, it's not the vocabulary, it's not the listening, it's not the reading, comprehending. I can listen, I can hear the words and everything that I've learned, the vocabulary that I've learned and stuff like that. I can read it, but when it comes to writing it, typing it out, and spelling the words and using the proper grammar, that's what slows me down, especially the spelling, because the spelling is completely different. Like rice is pronounced riced. See, I didn't roll my R. It's riced. I can actually do it if I'm not thinking about it, but it's riced. R-I-J-S-T. So you gotta learn that. It's not something that in English, we have contractions. We have, I guess it's the same in Dutch, but we have th, like th, and we have ch, like ch, and stuff like that. And I guess it's the same in Dutch, but it's like I'm having to learn it. And like I said, it just doesn't feel natural to me yet. So having to spell something, it's like I can't really, or at least not yet, I haven't been able to sound out the word and spell it and at least get it close. It's like I just got to kind of memorize these, 7, 8, 10 letters, whatever they are. I just got to kind of memorize them because it makes no sense to me the way they're spelled. Now, as I progress, it'll probably make more and more sense to me. But that slows me down, and the pronunciation, aside from rolling the R's, which isn't a big problem because like in Dutch, the color green is groen, right? So I can say that, but if it comes to a longer sentence, the living room is green, okay? In Dutch, that would be the woonkamer is groen. So I can say that, but if it comes to a longer sentence than that, then I just start mumbling, So those are the two areas. Pronunciation doesn't really slow me down that much, but sometimes I've got to say it 3 or 4 times to pick it up. I can say a word or a phrase, but a longer sentence I got to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And then the spelling, that's what slows me down. So you got you're learning all this at once. You got the vocabulary, you got the pronunciation, you got reading, writing. It's a whole bunch of different stuff you're learning all at one time, just like you learned English. So you're learning all this stuff at one time. So it's not like you're just learning. I don't know. Back to YouTube. It's like I came across a video, learn to speak Dutch in a day. And it's a dude with a video, and he's like, here's the 1,000 most used Dutch words in the Dutch vocabulary. And I was like, even though I spent the time on this, it's like, the vocabulary, but what about the grammar and all that stuff? Because that ain't going to work. So yeah, you kind of got to learn all of it. And so that's what's kind of slow about Rosetta Stone. It's fast, but you're learning everything at once. So it's like I've spent exactly a month, and I'm moving along quite well, actually. But I've spent a month learning this, and I really can't. I still go on YouTube. I can't understand shit they're saying. The Dutch people. So but I can understand more and more. The first time maybe not the first time, but if I wanted to know what they were saying before, I had to copy and paste it into Google's Translate or something like that. And when you're listening to a video, there's no way to do that. From the title of the video, that's how I learned dag, a day. That's what I learned how dag meant. And then met, that means with. And then that's how I started to learn Dutch, actually, before I even got interested in or figured out I could use Rosetta Stone or whatever. I was just copying and pasting stuff into Google Translate to try to figure out what they were saying in these videos. And then that just led to me saying, screw it, I'll just actually learn it properly. So I've got a ways to go before I'll be fluent in Dutch. But I'm going to do it because if I've made it this far, a whole month, if I ain't given up on it yet, I ain't going to give up on it. And it's kind of like anything else I've ever learned, taekwondo, playing the guitar, just anything. At first, it's all confusing and none of it makes sense. And then all of a sudden, it starts coming together later on. And it's kind of like the movie The Karate Kid, where Mr. Miyagi is teaching Daniel-san karate, but he's actually just making him do housework, chores, and stuff like that, like paint the fence and sand the floor and all that stuff. And Daniel-san, he gets pissed off, and he's like, I'm not doing your chores anymore. I want to learn karate. And what he doesn't realize is he already knows karate. Because that's what all that paint the house. That's a block. That's a block. That's a strike. He didn't realize that's what Mr. Miyagi was teaching him. But then when Mr. Miyagi goes to hit him, he didn't realize it, but he already knew how to block. And that's kind of like I say, just about anything else I've ever learned is kind of like that. You learn a whole bunch of stuff at one time, and it doesn't. It takes time to settle, when I'm on the computer learning Dutch, what I learned today, it won't sink in until tomorrow, So, but, I don't know, what else? These e-cigarettes. Started trying one of these Friday. I picked one up, got some coupons in the mail to try it out for free. And, I say, yeah, you can't beat free, Even if it sucks, it was free, just throw it away, you ain't out nothing. This cartridge, these cartridges come out, right? This part, the lower part, that's your battery. And then this part is the cartridge. This is the replaceable part. You use up, this has it's called e-liquid in it. And it's got nicotine and stuff in it. And then this part you recharge. It's got a battery in it, and it's got this USB charger. And you just take that and screw it in there, and then you plug it into your computer and it recharges it. And then you put it back together, And like I said, these cartridges, these are disposable. So this particular cartridge, this is the third one I've been through. This particular cartridge seems like it's a dud. I can't get nothing out of it. Got a little bit out of it that time. Yeah, there we go. I really got a toke on that one though. But anyway, this is like my third day with these, and I haven't given up cigarettes. I didn't get the e-cigarette to give up regular cigarettes. I'm not a quitter. But like I smoked these like all day, and I didn't miss smoking a regular cigarette. And what I like about these is it's cleaner than regular cigarettes. You don't have the ashes flying around. You don't have the ashtray mess. You don't have the ashtray smell. You don't have the smoky room and that lingering odor and stuff like that. So I kind of like these. But like I said, as far as giving up real cigarettes, I'm thinking about just like smoking these at work, because I don't like smoking at work anyway. And I ain't got time to go outside all the time and stuff like that. And like indoors, these are much more practical. So I think I might just stick to these indoors, except for like on Friday and Saturday night or Sunday night. Like Sunday night when I'm relaxing, drinking beer, watching football. Like I was just watching football. That's when I'm smoking regular cigarettes now. But I think most of the time I'll just smoke these because they're cleaner. And they're actually less expensive. Because I go through about, don't y'all trip, I go through about 2 packs of these a day. But I don't really smoke the whole cigarette. I light it, I put it out, I throw it away. So, but these, you don't light and waste it if you put it out. Well, you don't light it at all. You don't put it out at all. So, like I can take a drag off of this, put it down, go about my business, and it's no big deal, no waste. So like one of these cartridges seems to last about a full day. And 2 of these cartridges cost $5. So that's about an $8 a day habit versus a $2 a day habit. That adds up. Let me see, $8 a day times a week is 56. 250 times a week would be 1750. That's a big difference. So I don't know. But Sunday night, Sunday nights, that's my night for drinking beers. And when you're drinking beers, real cigarettes are good. I'm not trying to promote bad habits, but yeah, I like to sit around, like Sunday and reflect on the week past and look forward to the week ahead and watch football or The Simpsons. I was watching that Walking Dead for a while. About 4 years I watched that show, but they pissed me off end of this last half season when they killed off Beth. Shit pissed me off. And I hear that the actress who plays Beth, Emily Kinney, she's a singer as well, and I heard she's playing on Broadway or something like that. So maybe they wrote her out of the show because she wanted them to, because she had that to do instead. But even if that is so, it's the way they did it that pissed me off. And I don't know, that show, season 1, which is when I started watching it, I didn't start from the premiere. I watched back on YouTube and stuff like that, and then they show the marathons all the time. But I came into that season about halfway through it, and it was only like a 6-episode season anyway. I think it was 6 episodes. Maybe it was 8, 9, I forget. But season 1 of The Walking Dead was freaking awesome. Season 2, which is where they brought Beth in. She was one of the daughters at the farmhouse. But that farmhouse season was boring. Then the next season was the prison. That was pretty boring, except for the governor. Yeah, he was in the next town over, or whatever, Maybury. What was that called? I forget. What was something Bury? I forget. But anyway, the governor, he was like a real psycho, but he was like a likable psycho, so that made it interesting. And then I don't know, they blew up the prison and shit like that, and everybody parted ways, and then they got back together, headed towards the place Terminus, which just sounded like bad news to begin with, right? Terminus. So that went how it went. I'm trying not to put out any spoilers, but with Beth getting killed, I ain't shutting up about that, because that was bullshit, just the way it went about it. And the writers, the producers, they're doing a whole bunch of other nonsense, like they were talking about making Daryl, his character, gay. And, they just didn't fit, I mean, like, Daryl can't be gay. I mean, they have a gay character already, but they don't, shit, if you missed the scene, you wouldn't know it. But when the governor, after his town got blown up and he blew up the prison and all that shit, the next season, I guess it was season 4, in the beginning of the season, he's just wandering around the abandoned town and stuff like that, and he starts going by the name Brian because he saw it written on a wall. And then he finds this apartment house with these 2 sisters in it, and they had a little girl. And the one sister, the one who went to the police academy, a couple episodes later, one of the dudes hits on her, and she's like, "Nah, sorry, dude, I play for my own team, or I don't, whatever." Basically, she was like, "No, I'm a lesbian. I'm not interested in men." She didn't come out and say it, but yeah, that's pretty much what playing for whatever team means. So they already got a gay character, but now, for some reason, Rob Kirkman is just hell-bent on getting a gay character in The Walking Dead. And it's like, okay, that writing, the writing for that show kind of goes wherever it goes anyway. It's kind of like a soap opera, so they just kind of like write it to wherever it's headed, But I just don't see why he's so hell-bent on, he wants somebody in that show that's going to be gay. And I mean, okay, if there's a gay character, there already is a gay character. But why is he trying to make Daryl gay? Do you know how many? Look, I'm a dude, but do you know how many women would be? I mean, their illusions would be just shattered if they made Daryl gay. That's probably why they didn't do it. But it just, how does that fit into The Walking Dead? How? I mean, I don't know. They just want a token gay guy, or I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, I'm just kind of like done with that show. I'm kind of over it. It comes back on next month. I might watch it. I might not. I don't know. But I was pissed as hell when they killed Beth off, and like I said, it's the way they went about it. Like Beth is like was one of the smartest characters on the show, and her death was stupid. Basically her own fault, but she was, it was an accident, but basically she was just doing something stupid. Beth doesn't do stupid shit, but that's how they killed her off, just stupid shit. So, however, tonight, as a matter of fact, last weekend, they had the Walking Dead marathon on there. I refused to watch it on AMC. I refused to watch it. I didn't even turn on AMC last weekend. But I was flipping around the channels like last Saturday afternoon. I don't know, I was bored as shit. And another show that I used to like, and I'm back to liking it, was Shameless. I liked the hell out of Shameless when they had Laura Wiggins on there as Karen. She's just a sexy little bitch. But she played this crazy, like, sex addict, just crazy in general, but she was also a sex addict, and just all this shit. And if you ever watch that show, it's just all dysfunctional. But when they wrote Laura Wiggins off of the show, I kind of like just lost interest in it. But then they had the marathon on last weekend, and it began with my favorite episode, which is one of the ones with Laura Wiggins, where she's given she gives Lip a blowjob under the dining room table at her house. They're studying, and then Lip's brother, Ian, he's gay, right? And Lip just finds out about it, so he brings Lip over there to get a blowjob to see if he's really gay, and like she's blowing him under the table, and her and her dad comes down and catches her. This shit was just funny as hell, and that whole episode, not just the parts with Laura Wiggins, but the whole fucking episode was awesome. So I get hooked on this frickin' Shameless marathon. I watched it all last weekend. Didn't leave the house except to go to work watching Shameless. And the season premiere, season 4, season 5, wherever they're at, that's on tonight at 8 o'clock, so I'm probably going to check that out. Actually, I will, as long as I don't forget. And if I do forget, I'll just wait for the next marathon. I'm like, I don't know who came up with that term binge watch, but that's what I do, you know, like, I did it with The Walking Dead, I did it with Game of Thrones. I didn't ever see Game of Thrones until like the middle of the second season, or maybe it was the third. So I had to like go on to the internet and download all the back episodes. And I spent like a week straight watching that shit. But I hate shows like that are continuing sagas, you know? And it's like you're watching an hour a week and then you gotta wait a whole nother week. Nah, fuck it. Just ignore all that shit and wait until they have a marathon. That's the way to do it. Alright, everybody. This is MJH. Peace. God bless. I'm out of here. Everybody have a great day and even greater day tomorrow. Later.